Welcome back to the Piping Pastor. Time for another one of those live chat videos. So, again, no fancy scrolling introduction or music on this one, just kind of me talking. I haven't done one of these in a while. Point of fact, it's probably the smallest collection of my videos. But recent experiences have kind of led me to the point where I was like, you know what? Might be a good idea to have a chat about this. I am smoking today. Forgive me for checking my microphone here. Okay. I had some issues with this mic cutting off and me not noticing until the video is done. But today I am back on the Seattle Pipe Club wagon with my bourbon barrel aged plum pudding. Reason being, because I've given up on the Bijou. The Cornelian DL Bijou, I think in like the last couple of videos I've been smoking that. I've come to the conclusion I do not like it. It's not a bad tobacco by any means. I think I mentioned in the first video that I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, that it was so evenly balanced. I mean, it was so, like the Turkish Orientals were right there, right up front, but right next to them was the Virginias, and you could taste like the flavors of both individually, and independently they were fine. And the way that they were blended and balanced, so that neither one nor the other stood apart. I thought initially, oh, that's interesting, but I wasn't really sure what I thought about it. It was okay, but I wasn't really sure about what I thought about it. So I kept smoking it, as you do. I smoked several bowls. I tried it in a few different styles of pipe. Like today, I'm smoking in my ebony pipe. I tried, Briar and Meerschaum and Cobb and the ebony. And I couldn't get into it. I think for me, the issue is the two tobaccos are balanced really, really well, but they don't match. They don't complement each other. They're not even fighting each other. They're just both there and fully present. And independently, I think they're good. They're quality ingredients. But for me, it was like a really good sauce and a really good piece of protein, but the dish did not match at all. It was like a really good brown sauce with a piece of white fish. That's kind of what it was like for me. Like if I had them separately, they'd have been great. But putting them together just didn't work. Which then puts me in the position of having a fair bit of this tobacco that I just don't like. So I thought, well, I could chat for a wee bit about what to do with the tobacco you get that you don't like, because um, I like to experiment with new tobaccos. I like to try new stuff, and sometimes it doesn't work out. And occasionally, you're able to, like I tried that Burley number 4 from Cornell and Deal, and lovely tobacco, but I felt there was kind of almost a cigarette-y aftertaste in that Burley that I found a little harsh. So I'm cellaring that, give it about a year or so, come back to it, and I'll try it again, and I think it should be cool. But this, I don't think cellaring is going to help. Sweetening those Virginias and things like that, I don't think that's really not going to do it. It's not going to meld these two completely discordant tobaccos together in any kind of way that I think I would find appealing. So cellaring's not going to work. So then, the other option, of course, is the quick, easy, wasteful option is just to pitch it in the bin, which I'm not going to do. Unless it's wasteful. Tobacco costs money, and there's people out there that would like tobaccos like that. So then there's the other option, of course, which is, giving it to someone for them to try and see if they like it, or passing it on to another pipe smoker. But then the last option is the one that I think I'm going to give a go on, which is attempting to blend it with some other tobaccos. Now, I'm not going to blend it with another blend. I think I don't want to turn it into a kitchen sink tobacco where it just has everything in there. But I think I'll look some Latakia and Cavendish, I think would do well there. I think having some of that Cavendish flow in and through would kind of meld the things together a little bit better. And I think the addition of some of that smoky Latakia might chill that Oriental, Turkish Oriental out just a wee bit, so that the sweetness of the Virginia is not fighting. It's just kind of there in the background. So I'm going to get some blending components and try to give that a go. What this led me to in terms of life talk is that the lesson being sometimes you just got to cut bait. And oftentimes we're taught or we're given the lesson that tenacity is necessary. That stick-to-itiveness, persevering through trials. And sure, sometimes that's absolutely a needful thing. And there's a lot of people who could use a bit more perseverance, a bit more, gumption and grit. But there comes a point when you got to throw in the towel and realize that the law of diminishing returns is turning your situation into a Pyrrhic victory. I used to run restaurants for a living, and one of the things that we're always loath to do is radio and TV advertising because it's incredibly expensive. And sometimes when your sales are going down and it's a downward trend, you're throwing spaghetti at the wall trying to get things to work. That's usually the last trigger you pull, is blowing money on marketing and advertising and TV radio ads. Even in corporate restaurants, it's market by market, and they weigh which markets to use because it's difficult to see that increase in traffic. Is it really from all your advertising or is it not? And reaping enough cash benefits from those additional sales to justify that out-of-pocket expense. And there were a few times where we had advertising going and we saw an increase, but it really wasn't quite enough. And it's like, okay, how long do we keep doing this? Is it a month? Is it 2 months? Do we spend an entire quarter throwing money at this and hoping something will change? And eventually you have to say, you know what? Chasing after this is not working. We're not making the money. We're not getting the returns from it. Doesn't mean you lack perseverance. Doesn't mean that you're a quitter. It just means that, you know what? Sometimes the course of action you've chosen is not the right course of action and you need to adjust. It goes back to that whole discussion we had on pride a few videos ago. If the only thing pushing you forward down that path is pride and stubbornness, then maybe it's time you reassess. Maybe it's time you go back. Maybe it's time you just cut bait. Which is exactly what I'm doing with that Bijo. Tried it in different pipes, tried it several times, and I've given it a fair enough go, but it's time to cut bait. So that'll be my next experiment, is ordering some blending components and trying my very own blend. So I will let you know how that goes. I'll let you know if it ends up working out or if I just make a bigger mess with a lot more tobacco that I still don't like. In which case I will probably find someone to donate it to. But we'll see about that later. We are planning a trip pretty soon. I think I'm going to try to get one more video in, so I might record something tomorrow and get that posted, and I'll talk a wee bit more about that. But then I'll probably be offline for at least a couple weeks. But again, I think I'm going to get one more content video up probably by Monday, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I'll let you guys know where we're going to be going. So have a lovely week, and as always, happy reading.